Hello and good afternoon, Mississippi. So we're gonna wait one more minute for more attendees to join before starting the presentation. Thank you everybody for attending today. And I just wanted to say, I live in California and this morning when I was going to my car, I saw a Mississippi license plate and I think it's a really beautiful license plate. It has like a magnolia on it. So it was a really good start to my day, especially for this presentation. And was curious if anyone had a chance to use their Uber Eats yet. Today for our office, believe we're gonna have Mexican food. Let me know in the Q&A box what you ordered for lunch. So I see someone ordered burgers. I'm seeing tacos. Oh, I've never heard of nukes. If you want to add what that is in the Q&A box, I'd love to know like anything about Mississippi and if there's any like places to try it as well. I'd be curious. Awesome. I'm seeing hot dogs, Chinese food. Oh, okay. So Nukes is a sandwich, salad bistro. Oh, some soup. Okay. If anyone knows like sweet tomatoes, it's like that too. There's like a salad bistro in the beginning, and you can get some bread. In California, unfortunately, like I think there's not that many chains left, but it was really good. Okay, so someone got lunch from home, but a tomato bisque soup. Ooh, that sounds great. Like I love tomato bisque. I like a butternut squash soup. All right, I think we got a couple more in. So before we start, just wanted to do some housekeeping. So yeah, just to let you know for the Uber Eats, it should be good to use. I typically believe like probably by the end of this Friday, but let me know if it doesn't work. And then at the end of this presentation, I'll also be sending an email with the HRCI and Shroom credits. If you have any questions today throughout the presentation, feel free to add into the Q&A box. I'll try my best to check the question box and get back to you as soon as possible. These questions will be saved, most likely with the follow-up email. If you have like a question, I'll probably have the question and add it to the follow-up email with like more detailed answers. I'll try to answer it at the end of the presentation as well if I can. And then if you do want any further information, also feel free to respond to that follow-up email. And then along with the follow-up email, I'll be sending the recording of the presentation that you can also share with your colleagues. And that'll be sent separately through Zoom. So today we're going to talk about Mississippi nonprofits and unemployment. Before I get started, just wanted to do a quick intro of myself. My name is Janessa Ponco. I'm the membership development representative here at 501c Services. I've been in sales since 2016, selling vendor boot space at a wedding fair for 3 years. I've set up meetings with tech startups during the pandemic, and then I've been scheduling appointments with nonprofits here at 501 since July 2023. The team that's bowling on the left includes me and some of our sales and marketing team members. My manager, Heidi, is in the middle. You may work with her in the future. Evan is on the right. He helps with our marketing content and web development. I'm really excited to be part of a company that's been helping nonprofits save time and money that can go towards furthering their mission. We're located in San Jose, California, so we're in the heart of the Silicon Valley, and we're dedicated to helping nonprofits reduce unemployment expenses across the nation. And thank you again for joining to learn more about cost-effective strategies and managing unemployment in your state. So we're going to provide a broad overview on how unemployment insurance works, alternatives for 501c3 nonprofits when it comes to unemployment, how reimbursing works. We're also going to use some real life examples of nonprofits we've helped with our cost analysis, And finally, provide more information on our company, 501c services, and how many of our Mississippi nonprofits have benefited from our services. First of all, just wanted to start off with a little history to put unemployment in perspective. Unemployment started in the US in the 1930s following the Great Depression and New Deal, where the federal government wanted to create a safety net for workers who lost their jobs through no fault of their own. From 1930 to 1972, 501c organizations, they didn't pay into unemployments for separate employees. Although this saved them money from paying these taxes, employees that were laid off couldn't reap the benefits of having that safety net that for-profit companies had provided. And then in 1972, the federal government changed the law under the Social Security Act to where nonprofits must pay into unemployment, but they were provided different options in how they pay, so the tax wouldn't be seen as a unnecessary expense for them. Unemployment is overseen on the federal level. However, each state gets to manage their own programs however they choose. So throughout the US, you can see different taxable wage bases, tax rates, benefit amounts. But today we're just going to cover information here in Mississippi. When it comes to management, unemployment rates can be adjusted annually and are adjusted by experience. So for instance, if you have a year or two of bad claims, your tax rate will increase. And most states, including Mississippi, run as a risk pool. So what you put in does not necessarily equate to what you'll get out. We're seeing that a lot of nonprofits are putting more money into that state pool than what they're getting out. And then these total tax liabilities by employers are often greater than the claims paid with reserves used in times of recession. To calculate your tax liability, you multiply the taxable wage base by your employer tax rate. So we're going to do a little quiz. Take a guess on what a single claim can cost in Mississippi. And just as a little hint, the total cost is looking at the weekly benefit maximum, multiply that by the maximum number of weeks someone can claim. In Mississippi, that number is, I believe, 26 weeks. So I have 1,500. I got 5,000, 7,700. I got another 5,000, 3,700, 4,600, 2,000. All right, so the maximum amount a single person can claim in unemployment in Mississippi is $6,110. And just as a caveat, this is what an employer is charged for employee benefits by the state. Those extended benefits you saw during the recession and extra COVID payments, they were covered by the federal government. The weekly benefit amount in Mississippi is at $235. When we multiply that number by 26, the maximum number of benefit weeks is how we get that $6,110 for the maximum of what a single person can claim on unemployment. The federal government sets the wage base at a minimum of $7,000. There's no maximum. Currently in 2025, Mississippi's taxable wage base is at $14,000. So that means for the first $14,000 an employee earns, your organization is taxed on that amount. And then the minimum tax rate is at 0%. The maximum tax rate is at 5.4%. And those are both set by the state. The last thing I want to note from the last slide was the improper rate, which is at 10.6%. And this equates to over $14 million in overpayments to former employees who are collecting unemployment from the past 3 years. This is information we get from the Department of Labor. You can see Mississippi is one of the many states between 10 to 13%. This is important to know as we really encourage you to look over your claims and make sure that you're not overpaying for anybody's claims. Here at 501, we help organizations monitor this. But if you are managing on your own, you want to make sure that you're properly charged for a former employee's weekly benefit amount. There are three different alternatives for unemployment. One is that you pay the state tax that we mentioned earlier with the tax rate that's set by the state and taxable wages. Another option is you can self-insure, reimburse for your unemployment, where you just pay dollar per dollar for your unemployment claims. So you're basically only paying for the benefits issued. And then the last option is kind of a hybrid of both, where you buy insurance that offers the savings of reimbursing while also providing that safety net. Just let you know, reimbursing is not for everyone. The qualifications that we look for considering reimbursing is that an organization must be a 501(c)(3) nonprofit. It excludes religious institutions. We recommend a gross annual payroll of $1 million or more because typically if your payroll is under $1 million, especially significantly less, what you're paying into the state tax pool is probably pretty minimal and you might not see much significant savings by opting out. However, there may be some scenarios where you could see potential savings. So we'd be happy to look over your numbers, even if you're just slightly less than $1 million. And then we also look at a positive audit of the past 3 years. So that means in order for reimbursing to benefit you, we try to evaluate if what you paid each year in taxes exceeds what you pay in claims. We also want to make sure that there isn't any major disruption in funding for the next 24 months. So we do recommend to stay with SUI if you might have anything from layoffs or a reduction in workforce, losing funds, closing programs where your tax rates may go up with experience, and then you'll probably want to wait once those claims decrease. What it means to reimburse is that your tax rate turns to 0%, and the state will bill you only for the unemployment claims you receive over the quarter. It's a great way for nonprofits to save money and be a better steward of donor dollars. The process is seamless for separated employees. No matter how your employee separated, they'll still go through the same process for EDD, where the state will determine their benefit amount based on their base period pay. The only change is how the quarterly bill is calculated. Instead of the state unemployment insurance tax, you're now only responsible for the charges your organization incurs. We work with 1,500 nonprofits, and several of them are in Mississippi. So you're probably wondering what motivates them to reimburse. In most cases, reimbursing saves money. On average, savings can be anywhere from 20 to 40% compared to paying for SUI. And this is really the driver for most organizations to switch. Reimbursing eliminates any concern of changes in the state tax, such as those tax hikes you can't control, and you'll become a better steward of donor dollars as you just pay for your actual claims than into the state pool. Because unemployment is managed by the federal government, big picture, reimbursing is allowed in all 50 states, best with employers with over $1 million in payroll and at least 15 or more full-time employees. If you're on the borderline, we can certainly talk, as sometimes there may be circumstances where we can consider reimbursing for your organization. If you're smaller in reimbursing already, we can still consider you for our services and how we can help you reduce your risk. There are a couple of different strategies for reimbursing. The first is to manage your own program. This can be a little risky with the highs and lows of unemployment, and you really need to make sure that you have budget for these claims, make sure that your team is diligent with managing, auditing, protesting, and paying claims so you can reduce risk and prevent overpaying. Another option is to outsource, like using our company, 501(c) services, to help with the administrative work and managing those challenges that can come with unemployment claims. And we also have a trust where you can put money aside. The third option is to purchase insurance. At 501, we do offer insurance programs. They're a little bit more expensive than the trust and offer different levels of protection. I do want to mention how SUI is calculated. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll show some real cost assessments we've done in the past. The taxable wage base is customized by each state. So in Mississippi, the taxable wage base is at $14,000. All employers in the state pay the same taxable wage base. It represents the first $14,000 of each employee's annual pay. There's no maximum and can increase or decrease by any amount each year. The tax rate is set annually by the state and is based on experience. To calculate the contribution amount, we multiply the taxable wage base by the tax rate. So for Mississippi, it's at $14,000 times a range of 0 to 5.4%. This amount means that if each employee makes over $14,000, a company is paying in between $0 to $756 per employee in unemployment. So in this first example of a human services nonprofit we worked with, the taxable payroll is just shy of $1 million, tax rate of 4.7%, estimated claims only around $200 per year. In this case, we looked at a 3-year average of claims. So they were overpaying $45,000 a year. Think of what you can do with an additional $45,000. This next example, the taxable payroll is around $700,000, tax rate 3.38%, estimated annual claims about $5,900, estimated unemployment taxes were around $24,000, so they overpaid $18,000. Here is an example of a Mississippi tax rate notice that many of you might have received already this month that gives us some of the information we need to do for a free cost analysis for your organization. Also, there's no need for you to understand each line in this notice. We'd be happy to look over your form and go over these numbers with you. And a little bit more about our company. We were founded in 1982 by a former UCP executive, John Huckstad. He was looking for ways to save money for his organization, so he came up with the idea of starting a trust. He created the first kind of grantor trust, the Joint Unemployment Compensation Trust, that eventually became 501c Services, also 501c Agencies Trust. We started at about 25 members here in San Jose and have now grown to helping over 3,000 nonprofits in various ways. In 2016, John sold the company back to his employees, so we're now 100% employee owned. From our receptionist to the CEO, every member is committed to our company and serving our members. Our services are valued tremendously by our members, with our company having over a 98% retention rate. And here are a couple of testimonials our members have shared. You can go back to these later, as I will send the slides after the presentation. And this is a clip from our 40th anniversary celebration a few years ago. That includes testimonials from Anika Lund and Mike Hoffman from Start Early, Mary Sue and Michael Eady from CISC, Sandy Leota and Chris Marshall of Baltimore Center Stage, and Phyllis Austin and Jason Penniger from Boys and Girls Clubs of America.
What makes me passionate about working for a non-for-profit organization is because I knew I always wanted to work for a mission-driven organization.
Our mission is to work with immigrant communities so that they can achieve the American dream.
501 helps focus our service to the community by giving us more time.
501 helps us focus on serving our communities by providing services directly to our HR professionals.
The biggest benefit for working with 501 is really the transparency and ability to forecast our costs when it comes to our unemployment benefits.
They also keep our cash flow steady through claims that are sound and take a lot of the admin burden off of us so we can just stay on autopilot.
We're very grateful for all the support you provided over the last 4 decades, and we wish you continued success in the future.
Congratulations, 501, on your 40th anniversary. It's been a pleasure serving with you for the last 24 years.
And like I said earlier, we work with several Mississippi nonprofits. Here's a quick snapshot of our members across the nation. Like you heard them say in the video you just watched, our members appreciate how we save them time and relieve some administrative burdens. The first way we help nonprofits is through claims management. Our team can help you audit and protest claims. We offer unlimited access to hearing reps, and our team has an average of an 87% win protest rate. You'll have a dedicated claims manager once you become a member of our trust. All of your claims will go through this online portal where you'll be notified that a claim has been filed. You can go into the portal to respond to these questions, and if in any case you go on PTO and forget to delegate these unemployment tasks, it shouldn't be a problem. For when a claim isn't responded to in several days, it gets escalated and handled. A big part of our claims management is that our team doesn't want your organization to overpay or get hit by those Mississippi error rates. So we can audit those charges for you or prevent you from paying a claim when someone gets terminated. We want to make sure that you're managing these claims and have enough support to do so. And for our HR services, it includes 3 components. We offer access to unlimited HR consultations. We're a small, dedicated team that can answer any of your HR-related questions. So if you ever have an ongoing issue, you can develop rapport with a person who can support you and manage any of your HR questions. Our HR services have trainings throughout the year that are HRCI and SHROOM certified. We also have an online knowledge library with our HR services. With the $235 maximum weekly benefits here in Mississippi, our goal is to help you keep that cost as low as possible. If you're ever laying someone off, our reemployment tool offers packages such as online coaching, interview techniques, and resume writing. It's never fun to let someone go, but at least you can give them the safety net and resources to help them secure a new job faster, which in return can help your organization save you more money. The protection is the insurance part of our program. Most members take our stop loss protection, which helps our members during catastrophic claims. Other than catastrophic claims, for managing the highs and lows of unemployment, we have the trust account. This is a reserve account held in the trust owned by your organization where we can help you manage those possible unexpected number of claims. So I hope this sparked your interest, and maybe some of you may want to manage your unemployment through us as a reimbursing employer. If you wanted to look into potential savings, what I would need from you is your 941s or estimated payroll from 2023 to 2024 as a reimburser. If you're paying SUI, ideally, we would like to look at your last 3 years of tax rate notices. If you're only able to locate the 2025 tax rate notice, no worries. We can also work with that as well. So I currently don't see any questions in the Q&A box. I can provide answers to the questions in the follow-up email if you're typing. I will be logging off in a minute, so if you wanted to type a question, feel free to also respond to the follow-up email in a few hours. Along with the follow-up email, it'll include the copy of the slides and credits. And thank you again for watching this presentation. It was really great to meet everyone, and hope everyone has a great day. And if you have any questions on Uber Eats as well, just let me know if you weren't able to use the code. And my contact information is right here. Thanks again, everyone, and I hope everyone has a great day.